Good evening, or morning, or afternoon, depending when you're watching this. My name is Zeus, and today I have some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. This is Domination, using the MP7 and the Magnum Tech Knife, I believe. I'm using Specialist, and I get the Specialist bonus twice, I think, right there in the chat. Just getting a bit comical, don't mind that. Ari actually told me off. I believe I get second on the leaderboard, but the top guy had a really good game. I think I go 26-8. Ari was shotgunning the entire time, and on this massive map you can't really expect a decent score, so he didn't get a decent score. Today what I wanted to talk about was my sort of university application experience and my advice. Now, I applied for computer science, so this is going to be very different for a lot of people if you're applying for something humanitarian or even just medicine, a lot more sciencey. So mine's a lot more technical, but I will try and tailor it for as general as possible. Now, it starts off with the personal statement, which is just a one-page sort of resume of your current education and just to sell yourself, basically. One thing I have to say about that is get it done early. Look up online, especially in the UK, then look up the student.room.co.uk and look up some personal statements on there because they helped quite a lot. Get it done early and just send it to some teachers, because when I was sending mine off, I had it going back and forth between like 4 different teachers, all putting in their own sort of advice, and from when I started to when I finished, it was so much better. So just give it to teachers, especially of the subject you're applying for. It really does help quite a lot. And especially try and add a lot of stuff about extracurricular activities. My school were pretty good and had quite a lot of different things like debating and charity events and stuff like that. So if your school does offer them, go for it. But the main problem I had is that because you only have one side of A4 and like there's a character and line limit, it's just that you won't fit everything on there. So if you do put something down, try and make it somewhat relevant to what you're actually studying. Like I mentioned that I went to a lot of extra maths sort of lectures. They had university lecturers come in and just give like a small talk for about 45 minutes, an hour, and so just saying that was beneficial because it shows that I was actually interested in like the maths and I would go out my way just to learn a bit more. So do mention those sort of things. Now the next obvious thing is interviews. Now not all of the universities actually offer interviews. Some just do it straight away based on your application, but if you do have an interview, do not worry because it's pretty nice. A lot of people worry about it, but I mean they really just want to meet you, see what you're like. That's really all that the interview is for. So what I want to say is, most of the time the first question they will ask you, other than how are you, would be why do you want to study your course. So for me, why do you want to study computer science? Obviously that is the question, and the problem is that not a lot of people can answer that off the top of their head. I know I couldn't when I was asked that the first time, just because it's the subject you want to study because you enjoy it and you're interested. Actually trying to put your finger on why you enjoy it is pretty hard, because it's just something, for me, I'd wanted to do computer science for a long time, and like for quite a few years. So it's just something, nope, I'm going to do computer science, screw maths, screw medicine, just I want to do computer science regardless of why. I just wanted to do it. And so sitting down and just thinking about why I actually liked it, it really did help. And so what I eventually came up with was that just computing itself is just insane. Like this game, for example, there are 11 other people in this game that are around the world, all sending information to the main host, and the host is sending back information. They're all playing this game real time. I mean, that just blows my mind, and how that we're able to do that. And I kind of jumped on that guy's back. That was pretty funny. So do think about that. The next thing is books. The problem with that is books tend to be very long, and so you don't actually have much time between going for interviews and reading them, because not a lot of people know what they want to study when they're applying, and so by the time they actually do figure out what they're applying for, it's quite late and you don't have much time. So my advice is look at all the subjects you are partly interested in, find a book or two, look up reading lists from the university, and even if you don't read the whole thing, read a chapter or two. You never know, it might actually spark an interest in it. And so just read a general summary. You don't have to read the entire book, because to be honest, I didn't even read any books. I read like 3 chapters of one massive book, and I don't even think I stated on my personal statement, but that was a very bad decision by me. Do state you've read a book in your personal statement, because it is pretty important. Computer science, it doesn't really sort of affect that much, just because it's not a very highly applied subject, as in terms of applicants. So, but otherwise, do. The next thing is, at the end of the interview, they will most of the time ask, do you have any questions for them? Always have a question for them. You just have to. I mean, do some homework before, look up the university, even about the course, various topics that you learn. Just ask something. Even if you know the answer, just ask something, because it shows that you are generally interested in that university and in the course, and they will like answering your questions, because that's what they're there to do. They lecture for a living, and so just generally getting questions is kind of what they do. So even if you know the answer, they might even just give you an answer that you didn't actually expect and could help you quite a bit. So do that. And my final point is, look forward to it, which everyone sort of looks at me really strangely whenever I tell them that. But do look forward to it, because I know when I went for mine, I had a lot of fun at mine. It might be because I'm weird, and it might be just because I like math, and so it kind of doesn't work. But do look forward to it, because when you're actually there, you are there with students and teachers and professors, and you all have a common interest. You all like your course. Like, I was there with other computer scientists, so I got to talk a lot about games with other people, just generally. Even the interviewer, I was like having fun with him. I know the first one I went to, he happened to have a pair of headphones I was looking to buy on his table, and the first thing I asked him was, how do you find this pair of headphones? Which is probably a bad idea, but it was good to open it up with. We were both sort of laughing, and kind of got back on track and asked me the questions. But look forward to it. You generally have a lot of fun. I know my friends that I talked to, they said the first thing I would ask them when they get back is, did you have fun? You just do. Look forward to it, because I was reading this somewhere where for a job interview, the interviewer only needs about 12 seconds. 12 seconds before they know whether or not they're going to hire you. 12 seconds, that's insane. So if you go in there really smiley, look really interested, you're going to be a lot better off than looking in there miserable, nervous, shaking. I mean, of course, I was nervous. I was hella nervous, but when I started talking to all the students and talking about how sort of good the university was and how fun everything was, I started to look forward to all my interviews. And so I just really want to end on that point. I believe this gameplay is ending pretty soon. So as a quick summary, why do you want to study your course? Look up some books. You don't read the whole thing, just read a chapter or two. Might interest you even more, but get some knowledge. Find some questions to ask them, and look forward to it. Have fun is the main point. Thank you for listening. I hope I've been able to help a few of you. I've been Zeus, and I shall see you all in the next one.